It's gonna be real. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna make everybody proud that they stuck
Mhm.
with the information. I mean, that's what I think. Everybody gonna be all right. Show me the carbon piece in noon war times. This is a special edition of 144,000 in noon science, part 12. So it may be a double up tonight. So I hope we're a little late because I had to tie up a few things in the document. So hopefully we can get through it tonight. I'll see how I feel about after the first hour, but we about to get busy. I'm your host, Tar, Killing Noonebu, and that's my introduction.
True peace, kins and friends. I'm Nebu Ray Oonoo, Noonebu, and I am a Noonebu Hepper, and I represent Noon Science and allowing the positive forces of nature to do what it do and get people on the right track to do the right thing, make the best decisions, and continue to absorb the information and become one with nine mind. True peace.
Indeed. True peace, all kins and friends within the universe slash sooniverses. I am Anoop Bunu Nupu. I am a representative of the Ethiopian race as well as Noon Science brought to us by Nupu from our great messenger Afroo Nupu. Once again, I'll be sitting on the sidelines watching this great message from the 144,000. Hopefully, we can get others to be in the number of 144,000. That happens to be nine mine, as well as the physical 144,000 that we need in order to push this circle up. The circle will move up regardless of who is there or not, but it'll be better if you can fine tune your mind to that frequency of nine mind. So, true peace to all kins and friends once again.
All right, we finna get into the second writing, which is 144,000 in Noon Science, book two. This is the writings that will soon be in book form, but we wanted to give everybody a preview, early preview, so they can know what we're getting into and realize that this is the real time. Everybody that came before this has been unfortunately false and putting out misinformation, saying 144,000 was extraterrestrials. There was the 12 tribes of Israel, which don't exist. All types of religions been making claim to a book that was obviously altered and been metaphysically doctored up as well as spelled wrong. And so Sound Right Reason has came through clear to explain all of the things that the zoo has messed up. All right, so let's get started. All right, so this is part two. NEY 63, Newport Mental Year 99, Friday, August the 8th, 2025, 11:57 a.m. 19 Mental Year 99, 1926 AD to 2025 AD. Written by Jutah Kendall Nupu, mentally transmitted by ultra high energy cosmic rays called Sunray Reason Nupu and the grand nine orbs, Eniac, Pisijet planets of this solar system and beyond. The purpose and the warning. Listen to reason. More of a religion was designed to last 6,000 years, the duration of the moon cycle that ended in Caucasian Christian year 1962. Although the hangover manifestation of the moon cycle continue and will continue to the point 3 South catastrophe is over, religion was designed for the negative moon cycle with mercy, forgiveness, and scapegoatism because real and true justice was postponed until the war of justice and equality versus iniquity and inequality. Another thing for the analysis and also meanings of Law 80, the scribe is going to utilize the Caucasian Bible called the Holy Bible and the King James Version of it, because the Bible is most typical of the time and conditions of Judgment Day than any other religious book at the time of his writing, and that Old and New Testament Bible is the religious book that most members of the Ethiopian race in the United States of America are familiar with. And the USA is the strongest foundation and power of the moon cycle. Let it be remembered always, let it be known. Excuse me, let it be remembered always and well. Introduction to the Nature, book 2, number 363, page 246. Listen to reason. Now that this writer is on the verge of bringing his book 2, an introduction to the nature to a close, he wishes to ask members of hold on. Can y'all still see it?
Yeah, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay, I had to move some out the way. All right. Members of religion, this question: had you rather for Judgment Day or Judgment time to come upon you quickly without warning, and you have no time for making yourselves compatible with Almighty Nature, be warned just in time to get yourselves ready, yourself together for survival and well-being beyond Armageddon? This scribe has reason to think indeed that most religionists and peoples in general will surely choose the latter, having time to prepare. Fortunately, we have the latter, and this is one chief reason why NAY-TOO-REE-SO-NEE and Noone are with us now. Nonetheless, this writer does have priorities. 1, the liberation, freedom, and well-being of the Ethiopian race. 2, the freedom, peace, comfort, and for all peoples. And 3, the new beginning of mental, spiritual, and physical security and happiness for all persons and places and things who survive Armageddon. The war of justice versus injustice, justice prevailing. Let it be remembered always, and let it be known. Number 402. Listen to reason. Indeed, it is fact that this writer messenger for NAY-TOO-REE-SO and Noone desires to warn experts and laymen alike that he, Afroo, is not the savior, because the time for the savior has passed. The savior was Logos. It is now time for the liberator, and the liberator is Nous, also called NAY-TOO-REE-SO, the resurrector and liberator of the mental dead. Therefore, do not entertain the idea of murdering this writer, Afroo, for a sacrificial lamb, because it is not salvation time, but judgment time, and it is wise for all people to act accordingly. Let it be remembered always well, according to Introduction to the Nature, book 2, number 401 to 402 pages. The two witnesses. Ultra high energy cosmic rays called sunlight reason, NAY-TOO-REE-SO. The two in this case, non-religiously, is us, NAY-TOO-REE-SO and Noone, which is defined as this. Who is NAY-TOO-REE-SO and what is Noone? Listen to reason for the benefit of the listening audience and the reading public likewise. The name NAY-TOO is spelled Noopooh and pronounced NAY-TOO. The H is silent and capitalized. In American English dictionaries and ancient philosophy, NAY-TOO is spelled Nous and pronounced Nous. NAY-TOO is the cosmic reason, also called sound reason and Nine-Reason. And Noone, which is spelled Noone, and indeed pronounced Noone, is the science of sound reason, who is definitely the best mind of the one supreme being. NAY-TOO is surely the original prime mover and original creator of the universes and the original person, place, and the things thereof. NAY-TOO is the first emanation of the one supreme being, that is to say, the creative powers of nature who grew the universes of absolute nature into creation order. Therefore, NAY-TOO, sound reason, is indeed also the resurrector of the mental dead, those who are ignorant about the positive knowledge of absolute nature and its laws. Let it be known. Let it be known. Listen to reason. The ether science of sound reason is Noone for sure, and Noone is also the science of liberation for the mental dead. Noone is the truth and the science of mental resurrection and liberation from adverse forces, because it deals in correct information and imparts vital knowledge of those who are ignorant about the nature of laws of and requirements of the one supreme being by whom we all survive and have our existence and consciousness. Like Noopoo is the ethereal powers of Noone. Noone is the ethereal science of Noopoo that deals in beginnings and endings of person, places, and things, and their developments and declinations. Noone is the ethereal question and answer science. Therefore, it does not just make for beautiful words, but likewise provides positive knowledge for survival, liberation, and better living, plus the knowledge peoples need to know for mental food and mental growth. Noone is the nature and words of knowledge and positiveness. Please let it be known. Transcript 1 of Tape 1 of Nature continues, page 2, number 4 through 5. Everything that is invisible on planet Earth has a visible counterpart somewhere on this planet. Bible Interpretation Explanation, booklet 2, number 19 in part. This holds true for a few reasons. We, Noopoo, as brain newts, are invisible. Who and what are reason and the creator? Listen to reason is the supreme energy produced by brains. Brain newts grow brains, and brains produce thinking and reason. Brain newts are the gods in the matter of absolute, and they pervade all matter in one degree, or another, and make all person, place, and things related. Although brain newts can neither be seen with the naked eye nor with a microscope, we can see with them, hear with them, smell with them, taste with them, and feel with them emotionally and physically. Brain newts grow brains who are their visible physical representatives, and this means that brain newts are mental, spiritual, and physical for all their practical purposes. Brains melt down brain newts into workable, active energy called mind and mentality, part of whom may be reason, and reason is the active mind energy who creates all persons, places. And I think I meant to say things. I didn't put that down. All right. So give me a second. I'm going to do a lot of talking, so I'm going to, sip on a little bit of water. It's about to get real now. So we had to do that long introduction because all of that is gonna manifest how this is spoken about with the ancients later on in the document. All right, so everything is is in sound right order. All right. Oh yeah. All person, places, and things, whether they are artificial or natural, while using other energies as well as reason himself and herself. Let it be known. Transcript 1 of Tape 1 of Nature continues. All right. When Afroo was born, November 23rd, 1926, we, Noopoo and Noone, our signs both existed in his mind. Sound right reason is the birth and beginning of Nine-Reason NoopooH again everywhere in the universe of nature, and is thereby an infant growing and developing, but born a mental giant. And this mental giant teaches Afroo, the writer of this book, the biography of absolute almighty nature, sound right reason NoopooH. The first phase of Nine-Reason NoopooH was also born in the mind of Afroo at Oonoo's birth, by way of eternal nature. Let it be remembered always, and let it be known. Introduction to the Nature, book 3, number 8 through 9 of the PDF. The visible, the invisible, the Trinity, the Triad, and the witnesses. We, Noopoo and Noone, represented the invisible, and Oonoo represented the visible. Letter F. The proper and scientific name of sound right reason is indeed Noopoo, pronounced NoopooH. The creation energy reason is intellect, intelligence, revelation, inspiration, and best mind. In addition, reason is the real creator and true God in nature, and it is physical in the forms of its real bodies, the suns, the true stars of the universe. In other words, a visible creation presupposes, necessitates, and requires a visible creator, and the creator of reason shows itself in the forms of persons of the visible physical suns of the universe of eternal almighty nature. Introduction to the Nature of Nature, book 1, letter F, page. Okay, letter F page. I left it out. I had to fix that. All right, this Nature of nature book quote must be used to correct this Bible quote, John 14:9. Jesus answered, do you know me, Philip, even after I have been among you such a long time? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. We, Noopooh and Noone, are within Afroo Oonoo, invisible to human eyes, but shine from within by way of his intelligent reason. We, male and female energies, grew the Soniverse in the beginning, and it was us, Noopooh and Noone, are the primary creators of existence. In pantheism and Noone science, we, Noopooh, is 9-ether-tar and 6-ether-tar, are the fathers and mothers of all. Nine-ether, number 34. Nine-ether is the mental power and chemical forces that grew the universe. Nine-ether is a combination of all existing gas and chemicals. Nine-ether is the original force of order in the form and formula of nine-ether. Our Ethiopian ancestors grew the universe, then personified themselves as African pygmies at the source of the Nile in Equatorial Africa. The Nile-ball count one, number 8 through 9. Remember, when we say Ethiopian, we're not referring only to Willie had people born in the state of Africa known as Ethiopia, but Willie had people wherever they are, namely all people in the Ethiopian race. The root of the word Ethiopian is the word ether, and it means our origin is the sun, because the sun is 9 and 9-ether sun produces the Ethiopian race. The 9-ball count, number 1, number 9, end quote. Listen to reason. The facts are Tarkind and mankind, the human race or human nation on planet Earth, originated as explained in the topic named The Human Races of Nature by reason in part 2 of this volume and further clarified in this topic. Tar, the gods and goddesses who were Noopa before they became Tar, sexually reproduced the Ethiopian race before they died out and became extinct, sank into the bowels of Mother Earth after death and came back indeed as flesh and blood beings in the form of ape-like people, and lower animals. In these statements, we Noopooh are the parent powers and physical parents of the Ethiopian Mullah-head African race and are the 6 ether parent powers of mankind races by way of Zupu. Now back to the original topic of us, Noopooh and our science Noone, which was not in a physical form of books plus Afroo Oonoo equals 3. 2 mental, ethereal energies and 1 Ethiopian African male called Afroo Oonoo makes 3. 9. This is a trinity or 3 in one body. This is correct in the Christian Trinity as it is pertained to Jesus, but refined to Afroo Oonoo. 1 John 5:8. This is the one who came by water and blood, Jesus Christ. He did not come by water only, but by water and blood, and it is the Spirit who testifies, because the Spirit is the truth. For there are 3 that testify, the Spirit, the water, and the blood, and the 3 are in agreement. These 3 witnesses of religion are watered down versions of the true triad, which are space, matter, and time, called SMAT for short. Number 33, listen to reason. One fact of the law of existence in nature is if it exists, it's nature. And nature indeed is space, matter, and time combined. The law of existence, same as the law of nature, is the law of space, the law of matter, and the law of time combined in such way that the meanings of the 3 are one law. Introduction to the Nature, book 1, pages 36 through 37, numbers 33 through 34, in part. In ancient times, the scientists of the Ethiopian race philosophically identified all space, matter, and time with the sun, earth, and moon of our solar system and personified them as Tar, Atum, and Tahuti. Introduction to the Nature, book 1, page 39, number 36. This changed slightly when we, Noopooh, made ourselves known to Afroo Oonoo February 5th, 1962 AD, mentally during the Aquarium stellium. Number 3, listen to reason. The Caucasian Christian year, 1962, Caucasian Christian year marks the end of the moon cycle, which is the end of the evolution cycle. Cycles of nature can interlap and overlap each other to the extent that they are interrelated. Caucasian Christian year, 1962, signifies the end of the world of the moon cycle, orb scientists, the supreme mental forces of knowledge and power in the universes. Chose the year 1962, Caucasian Christian year, for the end of the moon and evolution cycles, because first of all, it was a 9-year, a year when all its digits add up to 9 this way. 1 + 9 + 6 + 2 = 18. 1 + 8 = 9. This is very important because the power 9 is the resurrector, who indeed must raise the smack circle of order upward on the side that is on the right. Secondly, Caucasian Christian year 1962 was the year that Noopoo pronounced Noopoo made themselves known to this writer, Afroo, Introduction to the Nature, Book 2, number 3, page 9 and part. Once we, Noopoo, were known to him, the one became two. When he began to write, he used the name Amenubi, for Akapatah, meaning Amen equals the hidden, Nubi equals Nubian, in reference to his racial identity as the African American of the black race, and Rahak is the incarnated sun god spirit being. Ta equals Noopoo in 1967 to 1968 AD. Also, the Nu in Nubi means this: a pronoun, we, us, our, dependent pronoun in grammar. N is the dependent pronoun for the first person plural, we, us, and our. It is often written as part of a longer word. The word for the primordial waters, Noone or Noone, and the word for we, us, and our are completely different words in meta-netta. They just happen to be written in our alphabet in similar letters. Hence, the breakdown. One, the primordial ocean, Noone, hieroglyph spelling. It is spelled with hieroglyphs that represent the consonants NWN. It often includes the water glyph to make its meaning clear. All right, look, notice it got 3 bars too. The chaotic primordial waters before creation pronunciation. Egyptologists believe it was pronounced something like Noon or Noon. We transliterate it as Noon, the dependent pronoun we, us, our, hieroglyphic spelling. This word is spelled with a single consonant, N. It is just a glyph for the sound N, the water ripple, often followed by a determinative or just used as a suffix, meaning it is a grammatical particle that means we, us, or our. It cannot stand alone. It must be attached to another word, like a verb or a noun. Pronunciation. It was a very short, unstressed sound, simply N, like the N in wind, but as its own syllable. Source, chat, deepseek.com. Listen to sound right cosmic peace particles. This is why we, Noopoo, and the 9 Passenger India have had you referred to us as a plural, same as in the Quran and in the Hebrew, where Elohim means gods or planets walking to and fro. He revealed 2 writings called the Bible Interpretations, Explanations, Booklet 1 and 2, published by Those Who Care, New York, New York, copyright 1967, by Amenubi Rakapatah, printed in the United States of America, dedicated to liberty, justice, rightness, equality, and unity. Those who care will be revealed in the writings, the 9-ball counts 1 through 4. On the cover display this, the 9-ball count 1, liberation information published by Those Who Care, dedicated to Ethiopian liberation, New York, 1971, written by Noonebu, Asonoopu, and Nabanoopu. Here you see the 3 names. At this point, Amenubi Rakapatah has taken on a new name, Noonebu. In meta-netta, Wu equals makes the Y sound, and it represented by a quail chip. In the meta-netta, the word Y transliterated has primary meanings of to endure, to be firm, or to last. It conveys a sense of stability, permanence, and longevity. This word often appears in royal titles and epithets, as well as in the funerary and religious texts, to express the concept of enduring existence both in life and in the afterlife. For instance, the phrase weh or wa means to live in a long life on earth. The transliteration wa is a common way to pronounce the word, but it is important to remember that ancient Egyptian vowels are largely unknown, so this is a modern convention for vocalization of consonants. The most famous use of this term is likely in the royal name Wahibre, which means the doing one is the heart of Ra, or the doing one is the mind of Ra. Source, Gemini Google. Hieroglyphs. The Y symbol is the scepter. Here we go. With staff, meaning greatness or uniqueness. Combined, Noonebu equals great Ta, expansive Ta, unique Ta. Noonebu equals Ta. Since you clarify Noonebu equals Ta, each name is an aspect of the attribute of Ta. The Memphite triad. He formed a divine triad with his consort, Sekhmet, the goddess of war, and their son, Nefertim, the god of the lotus and healing. Notice all the 3s in these descriptions. The second writer, Asonoopu, strong tar, pillar tar. The Djed pillar itself directly represents stability, endurance, and the backbone of divine power. A perfect match for Asu, meaning strength or foundation, Egyptian myth .sc. Hieroglyphs suggested the Jed pillar possibly accompanied by a determinative of strength or foundation. Third author, Naba Noopu, Lord Ta, Master Ta. A fitting hieroglyph for Naba would be the NB basket symbol denoting Lord, Master, or Owner. And royal names is frequently surfaces as a syllabic or ideographic sign of authority. Wikimedia Commons plus discovering ancient Egypt Wikipedia. Hieroglyphs suggesting the M basket obviously combined with Ta's throne or his staff to further emphasize the lordship aspect. From this point, 1971 to 1972, for the writings, the 9-ball counts 1 through 4. In 1973, Noonebu Amenubu changed his name to Afroo and released the first nature book called If You Are Searching for Knowledge, Then Read Me. The other two writers, Asanupu and Nabanupu, aren't named in these books under these names. 20 years later, in 1993, Afroo releases Introduction to the Nature Book 1, and these two sets of 3 names appear. The publisher of this booklet, individuality, are the stars, represent also called Ripu, the sun, the planets, representative, also called Jipu, the earth, the satellites, representative, also called Sipu, the moon. In all these books, all 3 writers are now named after these 3 orbs. Amenubu Rakapata, 1967, 1968, Noonebu, 1971, 1972, Afroo, 1973 to 2011, year of death. The sun equals Ripu equals Afroo. Also, another name for Afroo appears in the transcript of the audio tape written by Afroo in 1996 called Nubi Ripu. Is another way to say Amenubi, as which he was named in the beginning of his writing career. This is also confirmed in the obituary of Johnny Eugene Brown, Afroo, 2011, when their birth names were mentioned. 2 kin relatives and co-publishers, Arvin Bryant Sipu and Arthur Simmons Jipu. Source, PerryFuneralHome.com, obituary is Johnny Eugene Brown. Arthur Simmons, Asanupa, 1967 to 1972, Jipu, the Earth, 1973 to 2020-21 year of death. Arian Bryant Sipu, Nabanupu, 1967-1972, Sipu the Moon, 1973 to 2013 year of death. Tahuti and Osiris, earthly kingdoms. What this mean in reality? The smack circles are the original triads of the one supreme being. However, during the bottom half of existence called hell in Noon science has been reduced to the 2 witnesses in the book of Revelation. This is typical of those who rule with religion, specifically the moon god Tahuti and Osiris and their incarnations via their popes and presidents. There were 267 popes and 46 U.S. presidents in all. These are the list of the last popes and presidents. The chart, last 14 popes, last 14 U.S. presidents. You got Pius the Ninth, U.S. President James K. Polk, Leo the 13th, Rutherford B. Hayes, Pius the 10th, Theodore Roosevelt, Benedict the 15th, Woodrow Wilson, Pius the 11th, Warren G. Harding, Pius the 12th, Franklin D. Roosevelt, John the 23rd, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Paul the 6th, John F. Kennedy, John Paul the 1st, Jimmy Carter, John Paul II, Ronald Reagan. Let me see, Pope reigns starting in, president term starting, okay. Benedict the 16th, George W. Bush, 2000, that's the first one. Francis, 2013 to president. So he's been there since Barack Obama, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and I think he's still there now. I think Francis is still there now. All right. Osiris underworld religious rulers. Tahuti moon god rulers of politics. Now, in Noon science, the moon god Tahuti is the god of writing, spells, medicine, sex, healing, death, homosexuality, hermaphroditism, viruses of all types, and established Europe and America. He established Egyptian dynasties from the 18th until Rome took over in 30 BC. He has many Masonic orders and secret death societies hidden under the public's nose. Space missions, known and unknown, are also attributed to him. Osiris creates death cults, the Roman Empire, wars, campaigns, and killed Jesus Christ, whose real name was Sir Syrian Ptolemy XV, the son of Cleopatra VII. He is also linked to pedophilia, blood sacrifices of children, and human worship in underground secret places, and has secret societies the world over, including underworld ancient sites for end of the world preparations, societies the public doesn't even know about. Here's how this manifested in the two places these underworld god rulers have established on both sides of planet Earth. Just give me a second, y'all. Woo! He's on fire right now. All right, so we got the moon aspect, moon god aspect, U.S. president, select era, and the modern secret organization connection. So we got writing, spell, secrecy, founding fathers to the present, Freemasonry, Washington, many other CIA intelligence spells. You know the CIA does magic, and CIA makes the same sound as Sia, which is the Egyptian god of magic and spells and intelligence and stuff. All right. Medicine and viruses, 20th to 21st century. You got the NIH, the CDC, Big Pharma, bioweapons research programs. This is what the baldhead Noonebu putting next to what I said. I didn't tell it this. Established in America, George Washington, federal system, DC layout, Masonic, esoteric design, secret societies, JFK 1963 to present, because JFK, I think, did talk about secret societies and stuff like that in a speech. You can still find that on YouTube. Alleged deep state networks, undisclosed programs, space mission, Eisenhower, NASA founded to the present. NASA, SpaceX, secret space programs, allegiance. Chart 2, Osiris and Papa alignment. Death cult, resurrection, end time, papacy. The Vatican's Christ resurrection now as a cover, which Oonoo broke that down last night. They used Christ, which is really Caesarion Ptolemy, the Pharaoh. They use, they changed his name to Peter, which is Ptah, and then they create struck their version of that. All right. I heard some blue. You there, Noop?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody sound like somebody dropped out or something. Okay. All right, hold on. Kill Jesus, Caesar around early papacy origins. Church founded on the death, resurrection of the usurped deity. Underworld end times preparation, 20th to 21st century. Vatican archives, apocalyptic prophecy, CERN, ritual site allegory. Blood sacrifice, pedophilia, hidden history to the present. Global child trafficking networks, uncovered abuse scandals. Secret society, the entire papacy. Jesuit order, the Opus Dei, the Knights of Malta, Vatican Bank. Deepseek.com, that's the source. Here's a better view on how these two have taken ancient ways and woven them into modern times at the ignorance of the people. Question to ChatGPT. What are the positions in theocracy in ancient Egypt, from rulership to religious to political to lawmakers in order, please? ChatGPT respond. So the order from highest to lowest in Egypt, theocratic state, looked like pharaoh, vizier, high priest, nomarchs, scribes, military commanders, overseers, works, treasury, judges, courts, law priests, and officials, police, Question to ChatGPT. Okay, can you show how this would look in American Republic democracy? I know there are similarities. Make a clean, short chart, please. ChatGPT responds. Here's a clean chart mapping the hierarchy of the ancient Egyptian theocracy against the structure of the American Republic democracy. You can see how Pharaoh aligns with the president, the vizier with the cabinet, high priest with the Supreme Court, the nomarchs is the governor with state governors, and so forth, all the way down to the Magi, the police with modern law enforcement. Here's the side-by-side table comparing ancient Egyptian theocracy with the American Republic democracy. All right, so you got Pharaoh, the divine ruler, head of the state, chief priest, supreme lawgiver. In America is the president, head of state, commander-in-chief, executive authority. The vizier, which is to JT, is the chief minister, overseer of administration, judiciary, and economy. This is the vice president, cabinet, chief of staff, executive advisors, administrators, policy managers, high priest, Amen, Ra, Ta, etc. Religious authority, guardians of cosmic order, Ma'at, temple wealth. In America, that would be the Supreme Court. Judicial authority, interpreters of the Constitution, secular form of moral legal order. Nomarchs, regional governors, provincial rulers, tax collectors, law enforcers, state governors, head of U.S. states, manage laws, taxes, local policies, scribes, bureaucrats, record keepers, legislators in practice. This is Congress, Senate, and the House, legislators, lawmakers, record keepers of proceedings, military commanders, general under Pharaoh, protect Ma'at and borders. In America, that'll be the Pentagon, the Joint Chief of Staff, top military command under the president. The overseers of works and treasury, manage wealth, infrastructure, and labor. In America, that's the Treasury Secretary, infrastructure agencies, finance, taxation, infrastructure management. In Egypt, it'll be judges and local courts, apply Ma'at, resolve disputes. Okay, in America, that will be the federal and state courts, interpret and apply laws in civil and criminal cases. All right, lower priests and temple officials, local administrators, mayors of temple towns. In America, local officials, city mayors, civil service, local governance, administration, the MAJ, the police guards, security forces, law enforcement. In America, police, FBI, federal law enforcement, maintain order, enforce rulings. Source, ChatGPT. All right, listen to sound ray cosmic peace particles. To drive this point home, the U.S. president's seat is also considered the power of a god. This is shown through the meaning of the word vote. All right, mid-15th century, form expression of one's wish or choice with regard to a proposal, candidate, etc. From Latin votum, a vow, wish, promise to a god, solemn pledge, dedication, noun, use of neuter, of votus, past particle, of vovere, to promise, dedicate, solemn engagement, to devote oneself to a religious order or life. By 1300, as a solemn promise, usually to a god or a saint, to do something or make a change, typically in expectation of reward. From Anglo-French and Old French vo, modern French vou, from Latin votum, a promise to a god, solemn pledge, dedication, that which is promised, a wish, desire, longing, prayer. Now, use of neuter, votes as past particle of vovere, to promise, solemnly pledge, dedicate, or vow. Source, Etamon Online. Question to ChatGPT. Can you show me how the upper class, the middle class, and lower class in America fit into the ancient Kemet theocracy? ChatGPT responds, got it. Let's map American class structure, upper, middle, lower, unto ancient Kemet Egypt theocracy, because both societies had layered classes tied into their government religious system. Ancient Kemet, the pharaoh and royal family, divine kingship, direct connection to gods, high priests, custodians of mind, controlled temples, which held massive wealth, land and labor, vizier, nomarchs, administration, provincial governors, supreme judges, military generals, commanders with land prestige. America, political elites, presidents, senators, governors, Supreme Court, judges, corporate and financial elites, billionaires, Wall Street, financiers, Fortune 500 executives, modern temple wealth, religious leaders with political influence, major church leaders, televangelists. So right here, these here also will be your religious representative. The billionaires, the financiers, these are under the president, which is a god. So they will be like your high-ranking angels and stuff like that with their institution. This is why we keep telling y'all about capitalism is their religion, and they are the gods of that religion. And the more money you have, the higher you are in the echelon. So you could be a billionaire and not be a president and not be a god, but you will have bread that'll put you close to all the gods or whoever the rulers or the kings on planet Earth. All right. Connection. Both societies, upper classes control land, wealth, and the law. Pharaoh equals president, high priest equals Supreme Court. The vizier, nomarchs equal governors and cabinet, and temple wealth equals, look, corporate financial elite, the middle class. All right? So this is why people can't make out what the actual purpose of politics is, because they lied and told America that church is separate from state, and it's actually not. All right? When you take it and put it up against an older culture, you'll see that all they did was copy from what we laid down thousands of years ago. That's why you have a pyramid on the back of the dollar bill and all that, because they want to keep reminding themselves that's where they got their stuff from, but they corrupted it. All right, ancient Kemet. Scribes, educated, record keepers, tax officials, administrators, highly respected, artisans, skilled workers, stonemasons, metal workers, builders of temples and tombs, low-ranking priests, lector priests, wild priests who perform rituals. In America, this is a white-collar professionals, teachers, lawyers, doctors, engineers, managers, small business owners, and skilled tradespeople, plumbers, electricians, tech workers, artisans, local religious leaders, pastors, imams, rabbis without national power, but with local influence. See? So these are your local religious leaders, which would be in Kemet. They will be all your scribes to your low-ranking priests. Connection. The Egyptian middle class were called the backbone of administration and skilled economy, same as America's professional and small business middle class. All right. Lower class, ancient Kemet. Farmers and laborers produced food, worked on royal and temple lands. Servants worked in noble and temple households. Unskilled labor gangs built pyramids, canals, and temples, corvée labor. Slaves, war captives, lowest tier, though not as numerous as in Greece and Rome. In America, the working poor, fast food workers, cleaners, delivery drivers, factory workers, unemployed, homeless, dependent on social programs of charity, prison population, mass incarceration system is a modern form of servitude. Connection. Farmers, laborers equals working poor, servants equals surfers, service industry, unskilled labor equals minimum wage jobs, slaves, war captives equals prison labor, and undocumented migrant exploitation. Theocracy versus republic democracy with parties. In ancient Kemet, Pharaoh, divine king, horse on earth, also tied to the gods, high priesthood of Amun, Ra, Ta, etc., keepers of divine. America, public, president, head of state, head of government, secular pharaoh, Supreme Court, judicial branch, interpret. Okay, this is giving us a summary. All right, so we're going to jump past all of that. All right, placement of parties in ancient terms. The Democrats equals like a priestly faction arguing for more inclusion of the people. The Ma'at is equality, though not perfectly practiced. The Republicans is like a noble warrior faction arguing for hierarchy, tradition, and Pharaoh's divine right. Independent, third parties equals like regional cults, local temples that resisted domination of Amun or Ra's priesthood, yet had their own followings. Source, ChatGPT. However, this does not diminish the jobs of Noonebu, Noopa, and NAY-TOO-REE-SO-NEE Oonoo has to do as pushing Noon science with all others who participate. Be it remember, the SMART circle are the true understanding of what the witnesses mean, because they, space, matter, and time, witnesses all things come and go eternally, but they also must have 3 representatives at any given time, meaning if one person has Noon science, then you are a triad yourself, meaning you occupy space, you are made of matter, and you need time to exist and learn, accept, and practice the science. Do not let religious spell quotes confuse you. Let this be known. Noopooh and Noone coming foretold. All right, we're 44 minutes in. All right, so we're finna get real nice, real nice. The two of us, Noopooh and Noone, within Afroo's mind made 3. Here's another example. 1, the digit 3, like all the digits, can represent many things and have many meanings. For example, 3 can represent space, matter, and time, liquid, solid, and gases, sun, moon, and earth, male, female, neuter genders, 9 ether, 6 ether, and ghosts, etc. But Where the Caucasian race is concerned, it means Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And 333% of the perfect number 1,000. 333% of 1,000 is the Caucasian race limit of mentality. For original man, it is 666, and for the Ethiopian, it's 999. 9-ball count 3. Number 1. Now, when it comes to our NoopooH Noon's manifestations, starting in November 23rd, 1926 AD, this was plastered with our NoopooH Noon's number 9. Novum in November means 9. 1926 adds up to 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Afroo was born a Sagittarius, whose ruling planet is Jupiter, who sits in the 9th zodiac house. Eventually, we NoopooH made ourselves known mentally to Afroo, February 5th, 1962 AD, which is another 9-year when added. 1962 equals 18, 1 plus 8 equals 9. Then Noon itself started its physical appearance in book form from 1973, 1993, 1995, 96, and 2007, unreleased until 2013 by his widow, Ms. NoopooH. Joy. Our NoopooH Noon coming is foretold in Hinduism called the Kali Yuga, which means the age of darkness, age of vice, or age of quarrel, and is associated with conflict, selfishness, and disconnect from spiritual truth. According to the scriptures, the Kali Yuga began with the death of Lord Krishna in 3102 BCE and will last for 432 years before ending with a cataclysm that ushers in a new cycle beginning with the Satya Yuga. Source, google.com. Kali Yuga. The 432,000 years also adds up to a 9 when added. 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 30 equals 9. The age of darkness is speaking of the 6,000 years of the moon cycle that began in the year 4040 BCE to 1962 AD. We NoopooH Noon reawakened in Afroo's mind November 23rd, 1926, 30 years before our mental maturity in the form of high-power particles strong enough to reach the Earth's atmosphere. 36 also adds up to a 9 as well. Let's continue. Number 1, the number 9 in Hindu symbolism. In Hindu thought, including in the Puranas, the Vedanta, and later occult tradition, the number 9 carries special resonance, completion, and fullness. 9 is the last single digit, symbol of wholeness. Before returning to 1, 10 reduces to 1. The Navagraha, 9 planetary deities, Hindu astrology. Jyotisha centers around 9 grahas: Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, Rahu, and Ketu. Each governs karma, cycles of destiny. The Durga god, the Navraduga. Goddess Durga has 9 forms, worshipped during the Navaratri, representing cosmic cycles of destruction and renewal. End of a cycle. In many esoteric traditions, 9 marks the end of a cycle and the preparation for rebirth, very much in line with Kali Yuga's role as the dark age that prepares for Vishnu's renewal. So in Kali Yuga, 9 often signals the intensification of karmic sequence and the ripening of cycles. Number 2, November 23rd, 1926, the 9 connection. Let's reduce numerically. Watch, we already did that. Date 11/23rd, 1926, which is Afroo's birth. 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus 9 plus 2 plus 6 equals 25. 2 plus 5 equals 7. The base vibration of that date is 7. Spiritual insight, occult wisdom. But enjoy your Tisha numerology. The month, day, year separation also matters. Day 23rd, 2 plus 3 equals 5. Mercury equals communication and intelligence. The month November equals 11. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Moon, mind, fluctuation. The year 1926 equals 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. So the year 1926 carried the 9. Vibration, marking completion, karmic reckoning, and planetary destiny, meaning in Kali Yuga context. In Kali Yuga, the 9 would mean closure of a spiritual phase, preparing the world for a new wave of transformation. All 9 grahas active, heightened karmic influence for planetary forces, occult intensification. Many occult groups in the 1920s, Theosophy, Western esoteric orders, Indian and mystic movements were experimenting with end cycle teaching. The presence of a 9 in 1926 aligns with the feeling of something's about to end. Planetary forces of November 23rd, 1926. Day 23rd. was Mercury, strong influence of intellect, writing, communication, and commerce. Month 11, Moon, emotional shifts, reflection, intuitive stirrings. Year 1926, Mars, a karmic closure year, conflict, but also transformation and new cycles starting. Total date 7, key to deep occult significance, endings, mysticism, liberation energy. Interpretation in Kali Yuga context, it's just giving us the same things. So we'll skip that summary. The source was Chat GPT. All right, how long we in? Okay, 50 minutes, we're good. In the Jewish calendar, November 23rd, 1926 AD is called Kislev 18, 5687 AM. 18. 1 plus 8 equals 9. Kislev etymology says the Babylonian month. Kislevu, also found inscriptions as Kislevu, is what? The 9th month of the Babylonian calendar. This is a direct cognate with the Hebrew month Kislev, which is also the 9th month of the Hebrew civil calendar and the 3rd month of the Hebrew religious calendar, starting from Nisan. Here's a quick comparison. Calendar month, approximate Gregorian period, Babylonian 9th month, Kislevu, November to December, Hebrew 9th civil and 3rd religious, Kislev, November to December. Why the connection? The names of several Hebrew months, including Kislev, are actually of Babylonian origin, a lasting impact of the Babylonian exile in the 6th century BCE. Before the exile, the Hebrew months were primarily referred to by their number, the 1st month, the 2nd month, during their time in Babylon. The Jewish people adopted the local month names, which they later brought back to Judea. This is why the Hebrew calendar uses Babylonian names for months, from Tishri, Babylonian Tishritu, onward. The number 18, Cha. This is the most significant change. The number 18 is numerically equivalent to the Hebrew word Cha, which means life. In Jewish mysticism, this is not just life in a biological sense, but divine, vibrant, spiritual life force. A date with an 18 in it is inherently imbued with the energy of vitality, blessings, and the power to overcome spiritual stagnation or death. The energy of the month of Kislev. Mazal, Zodiac, Kishet, the Archer, Sagittarius. Afroo was a Sagittarius. Energy of faith, aspiration, and aiming for a transcendent goal. Tribe Benjamin. Energy of being a relentless, devoted wolf in the pursuit of truth. The letter is Samet, symbolizes support, protection, and the circular, all-encompassing nature of divine providence. Synthesis, the spiritual climate of Kislev 18, 5687. This date combines the aspirational, forward-moving energy of the archer with the ultimate power of life, Cha. Metaphysically, Kislev 18 would have been a day characterized by infusing aspiration with life. The lofty goals and faith of Kishet are energized and vitalized by the power of Cha. It's a day where spiritual ambitions gain life force and momentum. Source, google.com. Here's what the number 9 means in Jewish traditions and mysticism schools. The number 9 holds significant symbolic meaning in many traditions, particularly in Jewish mysticism and numerology. When the number 18, the gematria of Cha, is reduced by adding its digits, 1 plus 8, the result is 9. This reduction is a common practice in numerology to reveal a deeper underlying meaning. The Kabbalistic and metaphysical meaning, completion and finality. In Kabbalah, the number 9 is associated with the Sephirah of Yesod, meaning foundation. The 9th Sephirah on the tree of life. Yesod acts as a channel for all the divine energies to flow from the highest Sephirah down into the physical world. It represents the culmination and foundation of all creative forces before they manifest. This gives 9 a meaning of completion and finality. In Kabbalah, the number 9 is also associated with completion. It is the last single-digit number, symbolizing the end of a cycle and potential for a new one. This also reflected in the 9 months of human gestation. Truth, the word emet, meaning truth, as a numerical value that when reduced in a certain way equals 9. This connects the number to the ultimate truth of the divine. The letter Tet, the 9th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. See, this the word they hide for Noopooh as well. Because you could basically say Ta and Tet, it's the same thing. They just tried to hide this right here. It's represent the number 9. I wrote a book on that. Has a unique shape and is said to represent, look, hidden good or inverted beneficence. These connections reveal that the number 9 is not the secret name itself, but a powerful symbol for the creative foundation and truthful aspects of the creator being and understood in the Kabbalistic thought. The Hebrew letter Tet holds a deep and esoteric meaning in Jewish mysticism, particularly within Kabbalah. While it is relatively uncommon letter in modern Hebrew, its symbolic weight is immense. It's not just a letter, it's a spiritual archetype. So they make sure they don't put the Tet in the modern Hebrew. They keep it in the old, like the Aramaic and all that, because they know that the Tet is taught. The most well-known interpretation of the letter Tet is that it symbolizes hidden good, the Tav Nistar. Look at the word star now. Nistar. It's like he's saying, basically saying, pitching over a new star. This is derived from the word for good, Tav, which begins with Tet. The shape of the letter itself is a cold, inward-facing form. It's often likened to a womb or container. This shape represents the act of concealing and nurturing something positive and good within a confined space. This is Noopooh. Remember, Noopooh is gestating now. So it's telling you, that's how you know it's the Tet. That's Noopooh. The shape of the letter itself is cold, inward-facing, is often what? Likened to a womb or container. All right, it represents the act of concealing and nurturing. Remember, Noopooh is still developing as an embryo. Something positive and good within a confined space. A thing directly connected to, look, the 9 months of pregnancy. Remember, Noopooh is still in this gestation period. Won't be born until 18 million years from now. See, they know what time it is. Just as the fetus develops in the mother womb, see, the letter Tet represents what? A hidden potential waiting to be revealed. This is why it is often associated with what? The number 9. See, they know what time it is. They playing games. The number of gestation and completion. The letter Tet is not frequently used in many common Hebrew words. I wonder why. And when it is, it often carries a deep and sometimes negative connotation. Look at that. See, when they use it, it's negative to them because they know that 9 Tet Noopooh means completion. It is over for you. All right? This is why it's negative to them. See? This is because in ancient Aramaic or Phoenician, the pictograph from which Tet is derived resembling what? A coiled snake. The snake or serpent is a complex symbol in Jewish thought, why it is often associated with the serpent in the Garden of Eden with negative forces often represent wisdom. And remember, let me pull this up real quick. Remember, because they say it's in the womb, right? So let's show you how they like to play games. Let me show y'all how they like to play games. Y'all still there?
Yes.
All right, you there, Noop? Let me see. I can't hear you, Noop. Okay, let me put this down for a second. What is this? It's Earth. Let me go back. Let me go back. Hold on. I want to show y'all a picture real quick. All right, so we're going to see this right here. All right, let me say the 9 is gestated. All right, so when you tell me now, you can see that.
Yes, I can see it.
All right, so that's the moon, and it has is the in the middle of it. What does it say at the top? What I'm looking at? What it say in the middle?
Non-nature clay brain. At the top it said Earth membrane.
All right, so here, this in the middle of the planet or the moon is the number 9. Remember saying in the Tet, the 9 is nurturing. Same thing it goes for with the inside of the planet Earth. She has a 9 nature clay brain as well.
Mm.
Let me show you that one. This is in the nature book 2. You see it?
Yes.
So here it got 9 nature clay brain, which is 9 ether around. This is around the Earth, the planet Earth's blob brain. Then around the 9 is 6 ether. That's the negative right there. But inside the 6 ether clay is the 9. So the Jewish rabbis are very well aware of what's going on or what the tet represent, which is Noopooh. They know that. And that's why they hide it. They don't want you to know that's what's really going on. So all these games that they played and hid, Noopooh is revealing it.
Yeah, and they in for a big surprise too.
Yeah, they definitely it's definitely gonna get what's coming to them. All right, so I'm gonna read a little bit more, and then we're gonna wrap it up. We read at an hour, so I just want to wrap it up. All right, so say represent pregnant. Just as the fetus develops in the mother's womb, the letter tet represent a hidden potential, right? We ought to know, waiting to be revealed, which we know that Noopooh is mentally revealing itself, and that's coming through us. This is why it is often associated with the number 9, the number of gestation and completion. The letter tet is not frequently used in many common Hebrew words, and when it is, it's often carried deep and sometimes negative connotation. This is because, okay, we go back, read all of that. All right, it says, the snake or serpent is a complex symbol in Jewish thought. While it is often associated with a serpent in the Garden of Eden with negative force, it also represents wisdom, healing, and transformation. This dualistic nature of the snake containing both good and evil, poison and medicine, is reflected in the concept of hidden good. The potential for good is called within something that appears dangerous or negative. That's because 9 ether clay is wrapped inside of 6 ether. That's the positive and the negative he's talking about. And also the fact that Noopooh coming through the suns that is mostly dominated by 6 ether. So Noopooh is operating from inside the orbs who are more dominated by the zoo. So energy-wise, they know that the tet is there. And whatever they're doing, they must be afraid to try to tap into it because they're more aligned with 3. And that they notice they pose a danger trying to do that. So the tet is negative to them. All right. The origin of the letter can be traced back to a pictograph that may have represented a coil or rope or a snake, which later evolved into Phoenician, Aramaic, and eventually the Hebrew letter. Its rare uses in common vocabulary, therefore, is not coincidence, but a reflection of its powerful, highly symbolic nature in mystical traditions, where its meaning is not meant to be obvious, but rather to be sought out and revealed. Source, Gemini, Google. The Djed pillar and Kemet connect with Tet, and later the Djed pillar and Kemet connects with the Tet and later Phoenician and Jewish symbolism. Here's the key: the Djed is outwardly stability, but inwardly core energy waiting to rise. Exactly the same dual meaning as Tet in Hebrew. The hidden potential. The Hebrew letter Tet is directly descended from the Phoenician script, which itself is descended from Egyptian hieroglyphs. Early Phoenician Proto-Canaanite Tet glyphs resembled a circle with an X or a coil form. Scholars link it to a snake or basket. The Djed symbol is upright, hidden strength, could easily pass into Phoenician as a coil serpent symbol, later carried into the Hebrew Tet. In other words, the Djed pillar, spine, hidden energy, resurrection. Phoenician Tet, coil snake, potential energy. The Hebrew Tet, hidden good, womb, concealed power. So yes, the Phoenicians absorbed Kemetic symbols like the Djed and translated them into their own alphabetic mystical framework. Later, Hebrews inherit this system, reinterpreting it as a hidden good, the moon, Sipu, the Djed, and the hidden good. Look, the moon's hidden side equals Tet's hidden good. The Djed pillar rate equals high energy reveal. See, that they already know that. And we just showed you the picture, the Afroo drew with the moon having 9 clay inside of the moon. So they know that the moon has 9 in it, the clay. You understand that? All
Most
right.
definitely.
This directly resonates with the Jewish mystical reading of the text. A coiled serpent in the womb, holding hidden good until the time of what? Manifestation. Source chatgpt.com. Sound right reason. Listen to sound right cosmic reason. This means the moon. This means the hidden information about the moon cycle and our NAY-TOO-REE-SO-NEE and Afroo's coming was at hand at the moon cycle, and this madness was ending from 1926 to 1962 to 2025 to 2029. 103 years. The Djed pillar raising is symbolic of us NAY-TOO raising the smack circle up from the chaos of from the last 6,063 years from the time of this writing, 9/12/2025. All right, so I'm gonna stop this right here because we did like an hour, and I wanted to know what you think about that.
Oh yes. Yes, it went in, especially when you was breaking down how the names of the NAY-TOO-REE-SO-NEE, Reepu, Sipu, and Gipu, and how their names were broken down in the Medu Netta. And yeah, that was powerful. And also when you go into the Tet part, breaking how Tet Tar is one and the same, and they, show how they be hiding the information. And also how you compared the different levels of hierarchy as far as within the African culture with what they have set up for today in government and so forth. So it just showed that everything that they know, they took it from us. I mean, perverted it, reversed it, and all type of nonsense, which is why the confusion is rampant and the spell is dominant, but soon breaking. True peace.
And yeah, and that's why we so attracted to the information, because
yes,
on the base level is our stuff perverted.
Yes.
And so now it has to be fixed. Like you said, it has to be unscrambled. And so this is what we're getting to. So what we're doing is showing how, with sound reason guiding and Noone, how they is in their information, the hidden stuff that the public not really studying.
Yeah.
And then how Afroo was able to come with Noone science, and it shows you this is the stuff that he read. And so all that stuff is talking about NAY-TOO and Noone and Tar and Tet and all this stuff we've been doing the last since this whole thing started. They know.
Yeah.
And they are very afraid because they know they got a short time. And this is why Netanyahu them is finna they're gonna have to start going real fast real soon.
Yeah.
Because they know what time it is. This when the Bible said the devil know he got a short time. They already know. So like I said, after October the 13th, people are going to start moving fast, and fast going to just start seeing a lot of stuff really speeding up. But that's because sound reason and NAY-TOO them sped up and shortened the days.
Yeah.
Because like they say, if they don't shorten the days, nobody will survive. And so everybody's seeing that the major players is giving the warning. They're out here. The major players is there. Then Yahoo, Trump, it's a war. Rumors of wars, like Matthew chapter 24 say, but these it's not really rumors, because they are wars, but the real wars that Matthew talked about is that World War III, because they've been having small skirmishes that haven't hit World War status. So that's what Matthew 24 is talking about when Israel manages to start a war, because they can't push America to a war. They're going to cause a war with the Muslims. And the Muslim Arab world might as well get ready for that temple over there next to their temple. It's going to get disturbed in one way or another, because Bibi want blood.
Yeah.
And that's he's showing them, and they already should feel away because Palestinians are Arabs.
Yes.
And they're mercilessly killing them, and Saudi Arabia and all them Arab countries are there. They just sitting there. You know, so it's a lot with that going on. But anyway, we're going to continue tomorrow sometimes, and I hope everybody enjoyed the information. True mental comments and peace.